Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. Hello, and welcome to Let's Sip and Talk with Freema on this great Wednesday. I'm so excited to be here, and I appreciate you viewers for chiming in or coming in or tuning in, however you want to say it. Remember what I always say, it doesn't cost you a thing to be kind. You never know what the next person is going through. It's hump day, you guys, and guess what? It's almost Christmas. Oh my God. This year has flew by. We have to spend money on Christmas presents, play Santa Claus, all that good stuff. But anywho, it's all fun. It's all love. We're in the spirit of giving. So today we're giving back by having DJ Supa Man on with us. He has been in the industry of DJing for 18 years, had some great mentorship, and all that good stuff. And y'all know what I always say. We like to pick brains because we learn from one another. We see things from different perspectives, and we learn from people's journey. So without further ado, I am going to bring on DJ Supa Man.
Whoa,
Hello.
hey, what's going on?
Thank you so much for joining us.
Glad to be here. How you doing?
I am doing great today. So, DJ Supa Man, for the ones that may not know you, can you give us a little history on who DJ Supa Man is?
DJ Supa Man is a young, light-skinned individual from Seneca, South Carolina, that from 2004 has learned the craft of turntablism, has been climbing the ranks ever since, and has been just trying to do the thing. That's the lump sum right there.
Okay. So I see that, like I said, you've been in the industry for 18 years. Now, you mentioned that you were young. So what made you decide that, you wanted to become DJ Supa Man? I know that you kind of grew up in it. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, what's crazy is the name actually came before the actual DJ part. So I was in, junior in high school, and, people still trying to figure out themselves and everything like that. So I was kind of like in that phase where like I didn't want this particular persona that, with the names and stuff that, it comes with high school and things like that, that people were like throwing at me. So I came up with Supa Man, one of my favorite characters. And it was just, kind of like, I felt like that person that could kind of like bring people together as well.
I love that. I'm all about bringing people together. So is that something that you always had a drive for since you can remember, trying to bring people together, being that bridge?
Up until that point, it wasn't like a forethought, but it kind of has been like a repetitive thing, in my life, trying to, to have people come together and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Okay. So
it wasn't planned, but yeah.
One thing I do want to ask, and I'm jumping the gun here, but I always wanted to know this, so I figure I better ask before I forget. How do a DJ read the crowd? How do you know, is it the right terminology of saying what genre of music to play or what's going to get the people started? How do you know that?
For me personally, it's more of a vibe, and I guess we might be overusing that word nowadays, but really that's what it is, So like for me personally, I don't go in with like a set playlist or anything like that. I just feel everything. So if I'm at a hip hop venue and I'm trying out a couple songs just to kind of like see how the crowd's reacting, if they start just kind of like standing around, okay, I gotta keep it moving, try something else. And then when we start seeing the groove happen, okay, then we start working that and keep working that, and then everybody's in your hands by the end of the night.
Okay. And see, I love what you mentioned. You don't come with a set playlist. And I think I'm not a DJ. So for me to even say this, I shouldn't be saying it, but I'm going to say it. I think that some DJs may mess up by coming with a set playlist because just because I'm old, by the way, DJ Supa Man, doesn't mean I always want to listen to what we call it hole in the wall music or R&B all the time. Some people like trap music. I don't preferably, but some people do. So when you come in with a set playlist, I think that kind of messes up the vibe because that's all you have to go off.
Right.
So do you think someone such as you that does not have to have a set playlist have to have that talent? Like you have to have that visual to be able to be successful?
Anything can be learned. I'll say that. So I don't want to say like either you got it or you don't. I mean, people can learn to observe and to adapt and to be able to do that. You know what I mean? I know, not to derive from the question, but for me, what I feel a lot of DJs mess up as is not taking requests. Now, if you're in the club and the club hired you to DJ and not the other way around, you're there to provide entertainment for the people that are in that venue. So
Absolutely.
why would you not take a request? Now, given some requests are kind of crazy and we try to avoid, messing up the dance floor and everything. But if it's a, legit request, go ahead and slide it in, and keep the party going. Now, if it was something that I was throwing and it's my event, then of course I might be a little bit more selective of what I'm trying to do because it might be a themed event or something of that nature. But that's for me is where a lot of DJs mess up in my mind.
Okay. So, what piece of advice would you give, like the DJs that may need a little oomph? May need that encouraging word. What piece of advice would you give them if they're just starting out to become successful?
Just reach out to ones that are doing what you want to do. Because even within the field of DJing, there is just so many different levels to it. You got radio DJs, wedding DJs, karaoke DJs, hood DJs, brunch DJs. There's all these different types of ways to go about it. And if there's a particular niche that you want to do, just find somebody that's doing that and just see what they're doing. Get some mentorship from them,
Right.
and I mean, it's a win-win situation from there.
Do you have a certain niche? Do you have a set tone, or you can do it all from weddings to graduations to kids parties? Do you have a certain
everything? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now I have not done a bar mitzvah. I've done one of those yet, and I haven't done like a rock party. That would be kind of interesting.
That'd be cool.
But as far as like genre wise, I mean, hip hop, Afrobeat, country, top 40, R&B, Latin. I mean, yeah, whatever they need, I got you.
You did it all, huh? So how was it like growing up with DJs, like in your family? How was that growing up?
Well, what was crazy was I feel I found out a little too late. Now, my uncle, we all knew about him because, he would always do the music for our family reunions and things like that. It wasn't until 2004 at my cousin's graduation that I knew that my cousin also did it. And then that's where that kind of started. And I started going over his house in the summertime, kind of learning from him. But being, I had that type of connection with him, was able to, go on different events and kind of see what he did, help him out, carry the crates and things like that. Because we actually did have records. Like we were carrying records, big sound systems and all that and everything. So when people talk about, a real DJ or whatever, I was there, from the old school way when the transformation happened with technology. You know what I mean? Yeah. So as far as, in regards to like family, it was just like a perfect scenario.
Would you say it's easier the old school way where you with the records? Did they really scratch up their records, by the way? Yeah. Did they really mess up their stuff by?
Well, in the older days, they had particular needles that would do that because they weren't made to scratch like that. But over the years, they made more what they call stellars, and those are made to be able to, go back and forth in those grooves at fast speeds and not damage the record. Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah, but so I think in the 70s, they never messed them up.
Which way would you say is easier, the old school way or the technology?
It's kind of a loaded question. Only reason because with the system that I'm using now, or controller is the term that we use in the DJ world, it actually spins like a record, but I'm still using digital music. So I still get my old school feel, but I have all the updated stuff to where I can, do all the effects and mixing and all the other stuff too. So it's the best of both worlds.
You mean to say you can do that on the digital?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's impressive. I didn't know that.
Scratch all that. Yeah.
That's really cool. So I'm gonna ask you a question, and anyone that comes on the show, you don't have to answer it. But do you think there's a cutoff age for DJs, or DJs can be as old as they want to and still, DJ?
You know what? That has been a topic in our group of DJs
Really?
for a while. The only reason because we we had this saying. So we have our friend. I won't give his government name, but I'll say G. But he's also known as DJ Scientist. And
Okay.
he is for the Yin Yang Twins.
Mm-hmm.
Good friend of ours and everything. Well, not to throw his age out there, but he is up there in years. So we feel whenever he stops, that's the cutoff.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. But
so whenever he stops. So he can be 90, and you're saying that's the cutoff. Like,
yeah,
we're cutting off at 90 because he stopped.
Right. When he stops, that's the cutoff.
Okay. That's funny. So it is a cutoff, basically.
Yeah. We don't know what it is yet, but there is one. Yeah.
I love it. What do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Are you still going to be DJing? Are you going to mentor somebody? Are you taking it to a next level and do something different? Where do you see DJ Supa Man in the next 5 years?
Well, I'm actually in that transition now because I just started my company, Mixed Masters DJs and More, this year. So yes, I'll still be DJing, but not as often. This way I can also, help other DJs get paid, the right pay, get more gigs, get more exposure in that sense. But, of course, I'll also be doing some things, but more selected events because I won't have to be out as much,
Got you. So where do you say someone should start off at? And let's say I decided I want to DJ. I know how to do a little something. Do you start off in your house with your family, letting them critique you, or you take it to the next level once you learn the basics and try to DJ for somebody outside your house, a small party or something?
I mean, it's not a bad thing at all. But, practicing at home, in your room, closet, basement, whatever, until you get your skills right, nothing wrong with that. Let some friends come over and, listening to you to see how they feel about the transitions and things like that. Go for it. As far as take that next step into the public, I would get professional opinion. Not saying it's going to be a bad thing, because you still got to get out there. Don't get me wrong. Right. But you want to, at least not just go out there, just throwing songs on and just be like, whoa, like what's going on? You know what I mean? Like you want to build up a little bit to where, okay, I feel like I'm ready. I can step out. You ain't got to be perfect. Just, at least have the baseline. You may mess up every now and then, because everybody messes up every now and then. So that's going to happen. But just build the skills up, take that step, reach out to somebody, and then go from there.
Gotcha. What would you say the hardest thing is with the DJing? Regardless, my dog trying to kiss me, DJ Supa Man. We don't kiss here. But what would you say the hardest thing is when it comes to DJing or being a DJ or pursuing? What would you say the hardest thing is? And that's in general.
Oh, man. The hardest... If you are not a people person, having, this is a club scenario. Well, it can happen at weddings too, depending on, how live everybody is. But there is a time where sometimes where there's just a bombardment of people coming asking for requests, and they're like, I want to hear this song now or next and all this stuff and whatever. And when I hear now and next, I'm just like, all right, whatever, okay. But I mean, I may get around to it, but
right.
For a lot of people, that gets to them quicker than other people. So if you don't have patience, that could be a bad thing, especially when you got alcohol going around and everything, and people stumbling over you and stuff bro, just back up, give me some space. But yeah, some people don't take
your equipment,
especially that part. Don't need no field drinks over here. No, thank you.
Right. How do you handle the drunken person in the club? I'm pretty sure most DJs already dealt with that at least one time in their career. How do you handle the drunk person coming up? Hey, I want to hear this, hitting your equipment or standing too close. How do you handle that in a professional manner without trying to give off a bad vibe?
Yeah. you get too nice, and then I gotta like get somebody to get you away from me. Because like I'm focused. I'm trying to. I'm saying I'm working. You know what I'm saying? There is a vibe going on, and I am the center of the party. Because if this stops, the party stops. You know what I mean?
Right.
So first, I'm like, hey man, look, I'm trying to work here. You know, thank you. Watch from over there. Thank you. I appreciate it. Taking time. Hey, I feel you. All right, cool. All right, man. All right, you see? Oh yeah, I see them over there. All right, bye bye. All right, go. Third time. Hey man, can you get him out of this booth real quick before I stop this music? Cut this out. Hey, get him out the booth, please. You know what I'm saying? Like, do whatever you gotta do.
So it's all about presentation and how you present to them. Hey, you need to move. Just don't be nasty, right?
I mean, if you got to be, like I said, on that third go, look, you got, keep it moving, man.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Do you love DJing? Is this your passion? Is this something that, you know, like you could see yourself doing if you didn't have a cutoff because you're basing it on DJ Scientist? Is this something you can kind of see yourself doing forever? Like this is something you know that DJ Supa Man wants to do and is going to continue doing?
Forever is a long time. So I don't know about forever. I do see it in the immediate, you know, several years coming in the future. Because you know, we evolve, we change, and different things like that. I think it'll always be a part of me, but I don't know how active I'll be, you know, later down the road.
Got you. And this is something I always ask my guests that come on, and I did ask you this kind of or slightly early on in the conversation. If there is something that you can tell the little DJ Supermans, you know, the 8-year-olds, the 9-year-olds, that maybe they're inspired by DJs that they see or, you know, going to a birthday party, but they want to do it, but they're scared. What uplifting words would you tell them so they can say, hey, you know what? DJ Supa Man said this. I'm going to go out there and do it. What can you tell them to give them that little piece of encouragement that they may be missing?
Look on YouTube. Look on TikTok. There are of kids like back in, well, I'm gonna say back in my day, make me sound old, but you know, when I was coming up, you know, there wasn't too many young folks, you know, in the area that was like, you know, trying to do anything in that realm. Then we had this technology boom, and now it's easier access, but there's also still a lot of talented people that are respecting the craft as well. And there are so many kids out there, and I mean like elementary like level kids, and they are like doing the thing. And you know, just check out some of their, like they are like DJing, like not needing parents' help, nothing. They know the buttons and everything. They are doing the thing. So yeah, just check out any of their videos, and just if they can do it, you can definitely do it.
You can do it. I love it. That was the best advice ever. And this brings me to something, you know, I don't want to really want to ask this, but I do want to ask this. With technology, you know how it is. It's changing all the time. It's being more advanced. Do you feel like that has kind of taken over the actual DJing? I don't know if I'm saying that right, but you get what I'm saying, you know, because some people, you got the Bluetooth, you got the big speaker that you can just go on YouTube and let it play. Do you think that's kind of taken over, or there's still a need for DJs regardless of how advanced that technology may get? We still need that in the human flesh.
There will always be a need. Now, things may change and evolve as they have already done so, but there's just something that a DJ brings to an event that you can't get from a Spotify playlist. Gotcha. Or, you know, just, you know, playing something from whatever source or whatever. Like, it's just a different. Right. Now, you know, when it comes down to the mixing and, you know, throwing this acapella over this beat, or, you know, taking this part of a song and adding it to this one, there's only so much you can do just by hitting play. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, there'll always be a need for DJs.
Okay, that answered my question. I kind of wanted to ask, but I'm like, I don't want to step on no toes by asking this question, but it makes perfect sense. It's always a need for a DJ. So you guys out there, if you want to pursue that DJing career, I don't care how old you are, pursue it. Go on YouTube, do your research, all that good stuff. Go out there and do it. You won't know unless you try. And if you never try, you're going to always worry about the what ifs. What if I would have? Do it so you'll know. Do it so you'll know. DJ Supa Man, is there anything that you would like to put in the universe that we did not discuss this evening?
Yes. keep on the lookout for season 3 of my podcast, the Tough Talk podcast. The first 2 seasons are available wherever you get your podcasts, literally. Let me think. So much stuff going on.
Stuff on your podcast. Do you allow guests to come on or anything?
Yes, and we can get that worked out too. Now I'm gonna send the schedule out to you, and we can get that worked out. But as far as like topic wise and everything, we talk about a little bit of everything. Everything from child support to self-care. What is a real man? What is a real woman? Like all these different types of topics. So there's plenty to look at. Listen.
I'll be looking out for an invite to come on the show.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Gotta return the favor somehow.
I appreciate it. So repeat that one more time. How can they find you? How can they find the podcast? All that good stuff.
Yeah, that's the Tough TUFF Talk podcast, and you can find that literally wherever you get your podcasts. Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Spotify. We're everywhere.
Love it. Okay.
Easy.
Well, DJ Supa Man, I appreciate the fact that you took the time out of your busy schedule to come on Let's Sip and Talk with Freema to give us your journey, give us some knowledge, because I strongly believe that all of us learn from one another. So if we impacted one person tonight, I feel like we did our job. So again, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Shout out to DJ Aries for making this connection. So shout out to him. I appreciate that. And as we always say on Let's Sip and Talk with Freema, peace and love.